Hi, Martin. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, Enzo. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me today.
Fantastic. So I'm going to share now your screen. I think you prepared the slide already, right?
Yes, everything is ready.
Perfect. Okay, it's your time.
Thank you. So I'm Martin. I'm a VP product at FORNOVA, and I'm going to be talking about competition, what usually most of the revenue managers refer to as a rate chopper. But the way we look at it, we call it FORNOVA competitive intelligence, and I'll explain why. So a bit about FORNOVA. We were established in 2010, and since then we've grown quite rapidly. As you can see, most of the top 10 hotel chains are our customers, including also some of the biggest OTAs in the market. And we recently went into other areas like car rental, what we call mobility intelligence, and more. So a bit more details about FORNOVA. We are a market leader in BI solutions for the travel industry, and especially in hospitality. We serve more than 20,000 hotels at the moment, and as I said, OTAs. Especially on distribution intelligence, but also on other things like competitive intelligence, revenue intelligence, and some marketing tools I'll talk about later. We track over 100,000 hotelbrand.coms, OTAs, meta search, and other websites. Daily, we monitor about 1.25 billion rates from different point of sales, and I'll explain about that even more every month. And we are about over 200 people in 10 countries. So FORNOVA CI is part of a suite of products, which we call FORNOVA Hotel Business Intelligence, that combine at the moment 4 products. So FORNOVA DI is what you probably are more familiar with, is the distribution intelligence. It monitors all your channels and meta searches, including your contracted and non-contracted online travel agencies. And we give you insights about it, how your distribution is doing, are you in parity or not, etc. And we also have recently launched a new feature that automatically classifies those non-parity cases automatically by different scenarios. We call it automatic root cause analysis. So it analyzes what is the situation. Is it because a latency issue, a connectivity issue, maybe a brand.com sold out and you're still selling on your OTAs, things like that. FORNOVA e-commerce optimizer, EC, optimize your programmatic digital campaigns, digital marketing by connecting data from your hotel, from your booking engine, and other sites, and enriching your digital campaigns. This gives much more click-through ratio, and we see a lot of good results with this tool. FORNOVA RI, revenue intelligence, connects to your PMS, to your production data, and gives you insights in one dashboard. And the biggest advantage for that is for brand owners, chain owners, multiple property owners, or revenue managers, where sometimes the PMSs are different and you need one dashboard to rule them all. So we connect to all of them and we give you one big insight dashboard. So if we look at the competitive landscape, 50% of the revenue managers say that one of the biggest strategic challenges is understanding what the competitors are doing. Now, I'm not going to talk about how you select who your competitors are, because if I wake a revenue manager in the middle of the night, he will know who their competitors are. So I'm not going to talk about them. But the question is, what you get from your rate shopper, right? From your competitive intelligence tool. So most of the rate shoppers concentrate on three things, right? The shown ADR, what's we call rates, your visibility, how you're positioned in when a guest searches you or search the market in the OTA or a meta search engine, and then of course your guest reviews. But is that the full picture? I'm not sure. Let's look at it from another angle, from the angle of a funnel, right? So if we look at the rate shoppers in the market, usually they concentrate on the area where the conversion is done, which of course is very important. But they concentrate on only these things, right? Maybe LOS restrictions, on price evolution, on the parity and rates, and so on. But what about the top of the funnel, right? This is especially where the guest is comparing you even before he reaches to the point that he wants to book anything, right? So how you are not only in the OTA, but how you are presented on Google. What about your SEO? What about your media coverage? What about your social media? 61% of guests say that they will look at your hotel in the social media before they even consider booking at you. Are you getting all the data from the right point of sale, from the location where your guests are looking at you? If you have a point of sale manipulation by the OTA, it doesn't help you that your rate shopper just shops the rates from one country. And and especially in these times, in COVID times, where most of your guests are local, it doesn't help you getting it from US, for example, right? And so this is the top of the funnel. But even in the conversion area, where in the OTAs, I want to understand, as an hotelier, I would like to understand much more about my competition. Are they using promotions? Are they using campaigns? And even if I'm okay with the price, right? Am I having the same product on the market as my competitors? So the fact that I'm calling my room double room and they're calling their room double room and we're at the same price, in the eye of the guest, we might have totally different products. For example, my competitor has a sea view and I'm looking at a different room with a parking lot view, right? Or the size of the room is different. So it's not only about the rate, it's about much more. But I think the most interesting information is the production data. So understanding what my competitors are actually getting from all that I said above, right? About rates, positioning, guest reviews, and everything. At the end of the day, what I would like to know is the actual or the net ADR. This will tell me if that strategy that they're doing is actually working for them, right? So this is much more interesting information to get from your competitive or from your rate shopper. It's about the revenue of your competitors, the revenue share, net ADR, room nights, how many cancellations they have, what is the average length of stay they're using now or they're offering, right? How many page views, what is the conversion, things like that. So basically, what FORNOVA CI gives you is a bit of that, right? Of everything. So we give you, of course, what every rate shopper gives you, but one of the main things is the point of sale, and we'll talk about it. We give you the visibility, we give you scores, the evolution of them, of course, room type, automatically room type mapping, and of course, the revenue manager can override them if they want. We give you third-party rates, because at the end of the day, if an OTA, for example, Booking is offering Booking Basic on your hotel, this is what the guest would see. It doesn't matter that you don't use that price for setting your strategy, of course, but at the end of the day, you will lose if your competitor is offered a third-party rate and you don't, and you don't match that, or at least response to that. And of course, events and demand, and we give also for the chain and cluster managers, We give a chain view. I'll show you in a second. We give you some production data and top of the funnel data. So some of the benefits is understanding really what my competitors are doing and give you insights about what you should do in order to fix that and to be more competitive. And as I said, for chain and cluster managers, we give you much bigger insight. I want to show you some of our screenshots as well. So point of sale, we support over 70 different point of sales using millions of residential IPs to be able to simulate shopping as your guest would shop the price or would search for the price. Okay, and that is crucial every day, but especially in COVID times where you need to look for the prices from where exactly your customers are looking at. In terms of the pricing, of course, as I said, the third-party rates, you can set how many days in advance you want the system to shop, daily, weekly, monthly. You want 90 days daily, 180 weekly, for example. We give you all the possible channels, OTAs, brand.com, GDS, mobile apps, third-party rates, etc. So this is crucial to understand when you're getting the price, that it's the correct price that the guest sees. In terms of market visibility, we give you one dashboard to see all your channels and how you're doing in each day. Not only your absolute position, but also how you are relative to your competitors. So, for example, if you see a red day on the calendar, it means that regardless where you are positioned in the search results for that market, your competitors are higher than you. Okay, so that's crucial. And one of the features coming up is that you'll be able to activate a promotion directly from this screen to boost your position on that OTA. This is a view of a chain. Someone is looking at the top 5 performing hotels in the chain or in the cluster and the worst 5 in one view. And of course, with a click of a button, you go and you see the view of each hotel from this score. You also have a benchmarking either for your own brand or for the market, and you can see how the hotels are performing just in one view. So here are some questions that you should ask yourself whether you're getting from your rate shopper the right data and the sufficient data that you need in order to be competitive in today's market. And I will go over them. Of course, I'll be happy to share the deck with anyone. You can reach me. But again, ask yourself, are you getting all the prices you're getting, your guests are looking? Also top of the funnel, also on the conversion sites, and also at the bottom line, which is the production data, and from the right point of sale. And with that, I think I left a few minutes for questions. And this is me, and you're happy. I'd be happy if you reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn or whatever other means.
Sure. So we got a couple more minutes. I know that Alessandro, you got a question, right?
Yes. Hi, Martin. Thanks, Alessandro here. Thanks for sharing the presentation. It was quite interesting, and I love the fact that I mean, you don't necessarily being a rate shopper. I mean, you don't necessarily focus on rates because actually that is, in theory, should be the last part of the chain. But I have a question which is pretty much related to the strict part of a rate shopper, or anyway, the strict role of a rate shopper, in the sense that you perfectly know better than me that one of the biggest problems is how, especially the OTAs, are kind of bidding or kind of undercutting hotel rates depending on different conditions. Now, you mentioned the point of sales, but there are multiple conditions, and this is actually a question that I've asked many rate shopper, and usually during times I've got quite a difficult times in getting the proper feedback. I mean, just like an example, you perfectly know that a search coming from the US as opposed to a search coming from Italy, for hotel in Italy, for example, the results may be totally different. But it's not just that, even just the channel. For example, a search coming from a meta search engine like TripAdvisor, the same OTA may result in a different price as opposed to the same search coming directly from the OTA, starting from the same side of the OTAs. How do you deal with them? And the second part of the question is, how do you deal with those, I call them new generation OTAs like Snap Travel, right? Which are not necessarily OTAs, but kind of, in the sense that they are there competing with us at direct channel and on the distribution landscape, but they have a kind of different model. So how do you position yourself? What does your tool do in this sense?
Right. So first of all, as I mentioned, we support over 70 different point of sales. So when we shop that OTA, we would get the rates exactly as a US guest, a potential guest would see if you want from US, and we give the revenue manager the option to select from, which is a drop down with a different point of sales that he knows normally where the guests are coming from, and it could be seasonal even. So it could be in the summer, I'm getting more from, I don't know, whatever, from Northern Europe, and in the winter, I'm getting from, I don't know, from Africa, whatever, right? So you can change, and then you will get the rates from that point of sale, okay, and even live. So you can change and click on demand, and we will grab the data for you on the spot. In regards to your second question, it's usually those what you call new generation. I guess maybe they're not the contracted OTAs, right? These are the OTAs that you as an hotel don't have a direct relationship with them, but they still offer your inventory, right? With them, we deal mainly with the distribution intelligence tool, with DI. First of all, by finding them. Usually you would find them on the meta, right? And then in order for you to understand who is leaking your inventory, we do test reservations. So we will know exactly who's that wholesaler that leaks your prices to those uncontracted OTAs.
Okay. Thank you, Martin. Your time is gone. Thank you. Really appreciated your presentation. So see you next time. I know you're taking part in some other episode in the future. Thanks FORNOVA, and I'll see you later. Bye.